All right, 95.5 KLOS, Frazer Smith Show, and we are presented by the accident attorneys at sweetjames.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, call 1-800-9-MILLION. Joining us right now, my personal favorite comedian, Mel.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's you, buddy. There he is, Gary Cannon.
Frazer, I don't believe that, but I appreciate the nice words right out of the chute.
Come on, man. To me, no one's funnier.
He knows you.
And you remind me, I guess you remind everybody, really, of kind of a Don Rickles kind of a comedian. Was that always your thing, is to go out there and really, rip into the audience? You're just the best at it?
I'll tell you what my thing was. My thing was not having enough material. That was the thing. I mean, the idea was if I had to go out and do 10, 15 minutes and I had 4, and just like every other new comic, I just did crowd work. And fortunately, after a number of years, it finally started working. But I think like all comics, you know this phrase, when you start working as a comic and you start getting road dates and they'll say, hey, do you want to drive 4 hours north for $100, but you got to do 30 minutes? Well, most comics don't have it, but they'll say, I have 10 minutes, but I'll do 20 minutes of crowd work. And you and I both know that 20 minutes is garbage, right?
Yeah.
But you're driving 4 hours north and it's $100. So, these bookers get what they pay for. But I think for the longest time, I just didn't have the material. So I would just supplement it with crowd work. That was the idea. And I started to enjoy it. I started to get better at it. And then it just became something that I really enjoyed and kind of kept with it.
Well, you got very good at it, and it plays into, of course, the other thing that you do, which is audience warm-up. You are probably the top audience warm-up person, and in show business. And you told me how you got started. Tell us how that happened, how you got into the warm-up thing.
Well, it was crazy because I was actually living in San Francisco doing stand-up. I came down to LA to visit. And I remember seeing a taping of the Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn at the time. And I remember seeing this guy come out there and goofing with the audience and passing out T-shirts and getting the energy up for the audience. And I was like, it's a very cool gig. And I came back down, saw the show again, befriended the guy who was the warm-up for Craig Kilborn. And him and I, to this day, 20-something years later, are best friends. And he was the guy that kind of got me into it. So he was a warm-up guy for Kilborn, but also did sitcoms. Sitcoms in LA pay more money, way more money than a late-night talk show or a daytime show. So he would have to leave a couple of days a week to go do sitcoms in the evening. So they needed a backup for him. And I auditioned, got lucky. They liked me. He liked me. Figured I was a good fit to replace him when he wasn't there. And that's just how it worked. That was kind of the intro. And listen, I mean, what a great first warm-up gig right out of the chute. A late night show on CBS. And this was back in 2003. It was crazy.
Yeah, that is a great first-time gig. And you then went on to do sitcoms yourself.
Yeah.
And you've done some of the biggest sitcoms. What are some of the sitcoms you've done?
I mean, I got to do Will and Grace, which was amazing. I got to do Dr. Ken with Ken Jeong, who you and I both know really, really well. And yeah, listen, that was a crazy anomaly because Ken wanted somebody specific for his show that he could kind of goof with back and forth, from him acting to making kind of some fun stuff happen in the audience. So he hired me. But what was funny about that show, Frazer, is that I remember working at Conan and saying to Ken, I can't do your show. I have Conan on Tuesday. There's no way I'll make it from Burbank to Culver City to Sony in time for this show. And he said, don't worry, we'll hold the show for you. And I was like, that never happens in this business. Never, ever. So I was very grateful that I could run in, park at the stage. Ken would be warming up the audience, toss it to me. Like, that just doesn't happen in this business. And to Ken's proof of what a great guy he is, that was what he wanted. And he was able to do it because it was his show. And it was just a blast to be able to do Conan, a great late night show, and then jump over to do Dr. Ken, a sitcom, double dipping in the same day. It was amazing.
I was always amazed about that. You would race over there from the Conan show, and you had to get across town in time to do Kenny's
Horrible
show.
traffic.
And that's quite an honor, man, to be to hold a show. That shows how good you are and high esteem that you are considered.
Can I give you a compliment? First
Yeah.
of all, I speak for so many comics when I say that we're excited that you're back on the air. This was so long overdue, so needed. But I remember years ago during COVID when I would do that outside show at the Hollywood Improv because we couldn't go indoors and it was just distancing. And I remember you would come and you would stop by the Improv to do this outdoor show. And I remember we would bring you up, and the audience, young and old alike, would get so excited when I would bring you up. You were such a celebrity to them. And again, young people, old people, everybody knew you. You were the only guy in the mix of everybody. And don't get me wrong, Brian Dunkelman was there. But you were the only guy that got this huge ovation. Everybody was so excited. And just to the point,
Wow.
I speak for the comics when I say that we're excited that you're back on the air. So KLOS, thank you for having Frazer back on.
Gary, that's very nice of you. I appreciate you saying that. That's awesome. I think those people at the Improv thought I was Dennis Leary. But
You're so angry.
those were fun. Yes, I'm angry like him. Yeah. Gary Cannon is with us. He is a favorite. And, you know, Gary, you recently did a cool thing, and I was fortunate enough to be able to do this as well. You opened for our friend Jimmy O. Yang at the Forum.
Yes.
How was that?
I mean, that's surreal. I mean, that is absolutely. Who did you do it for? Joe Coy?
Joe Coy.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's you're just stepping out into this arena that I had seen 3 years before that, REO Speedwagon in Chicago. So I'm looking, you know, at the area where I was seated back, you know, in 2020, 21, and you're fascinated that you're out in this arena. Like, were you nervous when you did it?
You know what was weird? I actually wasn't, and I thought I was going to be.
I was there that night.
Yeah, I really thought I'd be terrified, but for some reason I wasn't. But you know what happened to me, Gare, is when I went out there were no lights on, and so I couldn't even find the mic, and I was like, that's what made me a little nervous. I was like, well, where is it? And then all of a sudden the lights came on, and there's 20,000 people there, you know. So I just started talking really fast.
And how much time did you have to do? Because I only had to do 8 minutes, which for me is my wheelhouse. Like, to me, I can go out there and bang out 8 minutes, easy, no problem. But I think, how much time did you do?
I think I probably did I was supposed to do 5, and
Okay.
I probably did 6. But then at the end, I was supposed to say something about his merch. Which is,
Okay.
you know how that goes. So at the very last second, I remembered, oh yeah, the merch. So he gave me a T-shirt to hold up. I had to hold up a T-shirt. I just grabbed it and I go, don't forget the merch. And then I ran off.
Always the pitch man.
Yeah.
You know why I wasn't nervous? And I think maybe this was to your point as well. I had to be there at 4 o'clock and the show was at 8. So I had a lot of time to walk around, see the space, kind of get rid of the nerves. And I knew that at that point, 8 o'clock hit, I was ready to knock it out and get it done with. So I think that was, but to your point, Frazer, I mean, it is literally surreal. And then I remember a few days later, I performed at some show with 12 people. And you're like, oh, now we're back down to reality of 12 people who could care less about you. And you're making no money. I was just at this arena with X amount of people, which was insane. Now, you know this
Crash
business
and
is up
burn.
and down. Now you're at a bar in Claremont.
No, that's right. I had
Reality
the
sets
same
in.
thing happen because I had been out on tour with Russell Peters, and Russ was playing places that were like, 3,000, 3,500. And, it's weird. Somehow those can be easier gigs for some reason.
Right.
And then when I came home, I had to do the Comedy Store, and there were 6 people in the OR that night. And I didn't get one laugh. I thought I was like really this killer comic when I came back.
But I will say this though, you have something that I don't have. You are in at every single LA club in town. I don't have that.
He's
you
welcome
do.
everywhere.
You work every club, and if I can just if I was at the Comedy Store, that would complete kind of the trifecta or the fourfecta. But you are in at every club and are adored at every club. So that is something you are the EGOT of comedy clubs here in LA.
I'm not sure even what that means, but I'm going to take that
Just take it.
compliment.
I think
And
he
you know
just
what?
I think he
I have to
insulted
pay
you.
them. That's the reason I get in. But
Insulted.
Sound like an
Yeah.
insult, but I'm not
hey,
sure.
can you do us a favor and just roast our whole studio here for 30 seconds?
Sure. Well, I mean, I really can't see much, but it does look like you're in somebody's basement. I got to be honest with you. I mean,
It is a Wayne's World kind of thing.
Who's there? Do we have people that are there?
Mel Garcia,
all right,
is here.
All right, so no comics. And by the way, I should be nice to Mel because Mel has the amazing hookup at Dodger Stadium that nobody else has.
That's right.
Mel's got seats in the parking lot, yet somehow manages to sit behind home plate every game.
How does he do that? You're right.
I don't know. He told me to park at a CVS one time, and there's signs all over the place that say no Dodger Stadium parking. Mel's like, you can park here.
Yeah.
You know what that guy does?
That's what he does.
He has the best relationship with every single one of those ushers. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But it's good to go to a game with him because you always upgrade.
The Tigers
You
are coming
always
to town.
upgrade. I don't even know where his original seats are. I don't even think he knows.
No,
I
I
don't even
don't.
think he's
He
been
has
there
no
before.
idea. He's never sat in them.
Yeah,
Never sat in.
Yeah, he's always
No.
wheeling and dealing to get behind home plate. Hey, the Tigers are coming to town.
They're playing opening weekend at Dodger Stadium.
I love the way you support all the Michigan teams because you and I are from Michigan, and we're Lions fans. We're Tiger fans. All the Detroit teams.
What do you think about the Tigers this season? What's your gut?
Well, you know what? I don't know if that was last year was an anomaly. I thought they surprised everyone last year, and made it to the playoffs, passed the first round,
Yeah.
and it was exciting to see. I don't know if they'll be able to pull that off again. They got a couple nice pieces in the offseason, so we'll see.
I think they got a good chance. I really think that they have a good chance. And the fact that they're opening up against the Dodgers is a very cool thing.
I love that.
One
We
of
ought
the
to
best
try
hats-
to see if Mel can get us to the game, and we
should
can
go.
park it at CVS and and walk up.
Literally, phrase signs everywhere. No
Oh, yeah, that's
No.
always Mel's MO. Oh, you'll be okay.
and you know what he said to me, Phrase? He said, put a CVS bag on your seat and it'll look like you were shopping there. I was like, Mel, they're going to tow the car. Like, they have no care in the world that I have a CVS bag.
Oh, yeah,
that's
the
sitting on my
bag
seat.
the bag trick always works.
It does.
I guess it does.
Yeah.
I guess it. All I know is
Until
my
you have to
car
go
was
get
there.
your car at the
You know.
impound. Well, Gary, we love you. Thank you
Frazer.
so much for joining us, and best continued success with your
Absolutely.
career.
And by the way, congratulations. So happy you're back on the air. Mel, thank you for setting this up. By the way, you're still so early on into this new radio show, and yet you've asked me to be part of it. So we're scraping bottom barrel, but I'll take it. That's okay. Obviously, a lot of people out of town, but I will
Don't
take
tell them about the
guest booking.
cancellation.
Yeah. Well, we won't tell you about the cancellation then. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Love
Gary
you guys.
Cannon, love you. There he is, the very, very funny Gary Cannon.
There you go.
All
Thank you
right,
so
this
much,
is the
buddy.
Frazer Smith Show. We are presented by the Accident Attorney, SweetJames.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, call 1-800-9-million.